Good morning, children. Sairam. Welcome back. In English grammar, today we are continuing with our topic phrase, clause, and sentence. Today we'll start with part 2. Shall we start? Now, children, in the last video, we have seen whenever the question is asked, identify the clauses. What thing we have to do first? First, find out the finite verb. Now, when you see there are two finite verbs, that means there are two clauses. Then find out whether it is independent clause or dependent clause. Some sentences where you find there are two independent clause joined by coordinating conjunction, last time you have studied. But some sentences you have one main clause and one subordinate clause. The last video we have already studied noun clauses. This time we are going to start with adjective clause. Let us see. The boys who were in the gallery could not hear. This is the first sentence. Now here you will first find out the finite verbs. What is the independent clause here? How will you find out? Now see here. Clause will always have a subject and verb, right? Now, the boys could not hear. But you see that the subordinate clause or the adjective clause here is who were in the gallery. Now why this is an adjective clause? Because it answers the question which boys. Now you already know what is an adjective. Adjective means which describes the noun. Okay. Now adjective clause means the clause which describes the noun. The function is same. Okay. But here the clause, and you already know what is a clause. Clause means also it should have a subject and predicate, right? So the boys could not hear is the main clause, and adjective clause will be who were in the gallery. Why? Because it describes the noun boys and does the work of an adjective. So what have you understood about adjective clause? Let us see the definition. An adjective clause is introduced by a relative pronoun, that is who, whom, whomever, which, whichever, that, whose, or relative adverb where, when, why. Now here, why it is called as relative pronoun? Because it relates to the noun. It talks about the noun. It describes the noun. Okay. So relative adverb is where, when. It also tells about the noun. Adjective clause usually follows the noun it qualifies. Let us see the example, and this is a clue, remember. Now the rat that Neeta saw yesterday was in the kitchen earlier. This sentence again divided into main clause and subordinate clause. So how will you do it? The rat was in the kitchen earlier. Now how will you understand the adjective clause? I told you that the subordinate clause will follow the noun it qualifies. So here, where is the noun? The rat. Correct? Now you ask the question, which rat? Which rat? That Nita saw yesterday. You already know that clause, subordinate clause also should have a subject and verb. So, where is the subject here? Nita. Nita is the subject and saw verb. So, predicate also you have saw yesterday. So, that means adjective clause. This is a clue again. I am telling you, remember this. It will help you. Okay. So, how to find out? You will ask the question which. The clause which defines or which qualifies the noun in the main clause will be adjective clause. Let us see another sentence. The boy who is standing there is my nephew. Main clause will be the boy is my nephew. And then subordinate clause, which boy? Who is standing there? Subordinate clause will be who is standing there. Why? Because it qualifies the noun, the boy. With this, I hope you can easily identify the adjective clause. Shall we go to the next clause? Yes, we have adverb clause. This question will help you to find out adverb clause. Remember, all these WH words, these are called as WH words. Okay? How, when, why, where. Very important for adverb clauses. Let's start with adverb clause now. When the sun set, they returned home. Find out the main clause. They returned home. When did they return home? When the sun set. So, an adverbial clause is a dependent clause, and this functions as an adverb. You know what is the work of an adverb? It modifies a verb or adjective or another adverb. Same way, adverb clause also does the same work. Only thing is that it has a subject and a predicate. Like other clauses you have studied, noun clause, you have studied adjective clause. These clauses also should have subject and predicate. Same way, adverb clause also should have subject and predicate, and it adds to the verb, that is, it modifies a verb or adjective or another adverb. Let us see the types of adverb clauses. First one, adverb clause of time. It is introduced by these subordinating conjunctions. When, whenever, while, after, before, till, until, since. Remember these subordinating conjunctions, children. And this answer the question when. Adverb clause of time say when something happens by referring to a period or point of time or to another event. See the example sentence. Her goldfish died when she was young. So main clause, her goldfish died when she was young. So when is again subordinating conjunction. This introduces the subordinate clause. So it tells you the time. That is why it is called as adverb clause of time. Then he came after night had fallen. Main clause, he came. When did he come? After night had fallen. So it is introduced by the subordinating conjunction after, and after night had fallen is adverb clause of time. Next type, adverb clause of place. Very easy. Which are the common conjunctions? Where, wherever. It answers the question where. You have to ask the question where, you get the answer. And it talks about the location or position of something. How? Let us see. He said he was happy where he was. He said he was happy where he was. Now, how will you get the subordinate clause? Main clause you have got. He said he was happy. Where? Where he was. So, you got subordinate clause, right? And it answers the question where. Next we have adverb clause of purpose. Which are the common conjunctions used? In order that, so that, lest. Now what it does, what is the function? It indicates the purpose of an action. Why the action is done. Purpose. Let us see the example. We sleep at night. Why do we sleep at night? So that we may be fit for the next day's work. What is the purpose? So remember, so that you have to check. Okay. Next one we have adverb clause of cause or reason. Which are the common conjunctions used? Because, since, as, that. Now, this clause indicates the reason for something. Why? As he was unwell, he did not go to office. Why he did not go to office? As he was unwell. And it is introduced by the subordinating conjunction as. Adverb clause of condition. Which are the common conjunctions which introduce this adverb clause? If, unless, lest, provided that. It talks about a possible situation and its consequences. Example, we shall go if the weather is fine. So, where is the main clause? We shall go. And subordinate clause, if the weather is fine. This is also called as if clause. Adverb clause of result or consequence. This clause is introduced by the subordinating conjunctions so that, such, that. Now you can see so and such precedes it in the main clause. Now so that already you have studied, it is used in adverb clause of purpose, but there it is together. So that will be in the dependent clause. But here, what is the difference? So and such will be in the main clause, and that will be in the subordinate clause. Right? This is the difference. Let us see the example and understand, children. He is such a good man that all respect him. So what do you find? Such is in the main clause. He is such a good man, and that is in the subordinate clause. So this is adverb clause of result. Because he is a good man, people respect him. So result, okay, and consequence. Next we have adverb clause of comparison. This dependent clause is introduced by subordinating conjunctions as, then in the middle adverb as, or than, or as. Let us see what it does. What is the function? It compares skill, size, or amount. Let us find out with the examples. Mohan can speak English as fluently as his teacher. So here skill is compared. So main clause is Mohan can speak English. Subordinate clause, as fluently as his teacher. Then the next sentence, she is a better cook than I. So here what is the main clause? She is a better cook. And where is the subordinate clause? Than I. So it is understood. Here also she than I. That means comparison. Next adverb clause. Adverb clause of manner. Which are the common conjunctions used to introduce the dependent clause? As if. It answers the question how. It talks about someone's behavior or the way something is done. See the example? Nina looked as if she had seen a ghost. How did Nina look? Nina looked as if. So here, where is the subordinate conjunction? As if she had seen a ghost. The manner it tells. Next we have adverb clause of concession. This clause is introduced by subordinating conjunctions like although, though. It makes two statements, one of which contrasts with the other, and it makes it seem surprising. Now let us see the example. Although he is poor, he is honest. So main clause is he is honest. But although he is poor is subordinate clause, adverb clause of concession. Two contrasting statement, poor, honest. Okay. Now that you have finished with phrases, clauses, now let us come to the sentences, kinds of sentences. It will be very easy for you. So there are three kinds of sentences: simple sentence, compound sentence, and complex sentence. What is simple sentence? Let us see the example. An honest man is always fearless. Where is the verb? Sentence means it should have a subject and verb. So, subject and honest man, verb is. And you have already studied predicate. After the verb, whatever words come, it comes under predicate, which states about the subject. So, is always fearless is predicate. So what is the definition? A sentence that has only one predicate. Remember children, a sentence which has only one predicate is a simple sentence. So a simple sentence consists of a single main clause. So already you have studied clause. So a simple sentence has only one main clause. Now let us see some more examples of simple sentence. The sun rises in the east. Where is the verb? Rises. And predicate? Rises in the east. So I have only one main clause. They saw a limping lion. Where is the verb? Saw. And predicate? A limping lion. I hope children you have understood what is a simple sentence. Now let's move on to compound sentence. Compound, means the meaning is two. So he is old, but he can run fast. So what do you find here? Here there are two clauses joined by a connective but. He is old, he can run fast. Two clauses joined by but. Here both the clauses are main clause. This you remember. Okay, both the clauses are main clauses and they are joined by the coordinating conjunctions what you have studied before. So this can also be called as coordinate clause, the next part. Okay. So what is the difference in simple sentence and compound? Simple you have only one main clause, but here compound sentence you have two main clauses joined by coordinating conjunctions. So let's see the definition of compound sentence. A compound sentence is a sentence that has at least two independent clauses joined by a comma, semicolon or conjunction. Let's see the example. This house is too expensive. Then after that comma is written. And that house is too small. So you find two independent clause joined by the conjunction and. Now children, you have already studied simple sentence. How to remember compound sentence? Let us see some cartoon characters which are given in front of you. Okay. Now, but above this cartoon character, something is written there. What is written? Coordinating conjunctions. And these cartoon characters are standing on some letters. Which are those? Can you read them? FANBOYS. It means fanboys. It is an acronym for all these coordinating conjunctions. You will remember, you will never forget. F stands for A and, N nor, B but, O or, Y yet, S so. So these words, what do? They join words, phrases and clauses. So you will remember that these words only, these are coordinating conjunction which joins the two clauses, main clauses, and make a compound sentence. Very easy, isn't it? Now let us study complex sentence. Now what is a complex sentence? A complex sentence consists of an independent clause and one or more dependent clauses. A dependent clause, you know that it starts with a subordinating conjunction and contains a subject and a verb, but does not express a complete thought. So, a complex sentence contains one independent clause and at least one subordinate clause. See, simple sentence, you have seen only one main clause. Compound sentence, two main clause joined by coordinating conjunction. But complex sentence, what is here? One main clause and one subordinate clause at least. Okay. Now see, now already you have studied different clauses: adjective clause, adverb clause, noun clause. All this will come under complex sentence. Remember, children. Let us see all the examples. Now this one. This is the house that Jack built. Now you can already understand what type of clause it is. It is adjective clause, right? So this is the house that Jack built. So this comes under complex sentence. We have seen adjective clause under complex sentence. Now let us see adverb clause. We shall go if the weather is fine. Condition clause already you have studied just now, right? So here this also comes under complex sentence. Then we have another sentence. The patient was sure that he would recover. Here, can you find out where is the subordinate clause? What is it? Here it is noun clause. Now by this time you must be able to find out. Okay? So where is the main clause here? The patient was sure. About what? That he would recover. So that he would recover is noun clause. Already you have studied. So what do you find? All these clauses, whatever we have studied about the dependent clause, that is noun clause, adverb clause, adjective clause, all will come under complex sentence. Understood? Now, how to understand a complex sentence? Complex sentence is very easy to understand. Why? Because here you will have one main clause and other subordinate clause. And these are the connectives or the subordinating conjunctions which will introduce the dependent clause. Right? Let us see the conjunctions. That, which, why, when, where, what, though, although, even though, even if, as, in case, in order that, provided that, rather than, so that, as soon as, before, after, unless, if, because. So all these are subordinating conjunctions. Let us see the example. No country can really develop unless its citizens are educated. Where is the main clause? No country can really develop. And subordinate clause or dependent clause? Unless its citizens are educated. Now these are joined by the subordinating conjunction unless. Now children, the same sentence what you see here no country can really develop. Here the main clause is written first and subordinate clause written afterwards. But subordinate clause can be written first. But when you write like this, you have to remember one thing. What is that? Put comma after the subordinate clause when you write it first. Can you see the subordinate clause? Yes. Unless its citizens are educated, and then there is a comma. Okay. This comma is very important if you write the subordinate clause first and then the main clause in a complex sentence. Remember, children. Next we have compound complex sentence. A compound complex sentence has more than one independent clause and one or more dependent clauses. Now let's see the example. If it rains tomorrow, bring your umbrella, or you might catch a cold. So here we find there is a combination of compound and complex. Now how? Let us find out. Now can you find out the main clause here or independent clause here? Yes, try to find out. Yeah, you might catch a cold. Yes, it is joined by or with another main clause. Bring your umbrella. So here it is understood. You bring your umbrella. So here two independent clauses are joined. You bring your umbrella or you might catch a cold. These are two independent clauses. But what about this? If it rains tomorrow, this is subordinate clause. So it is a combination of compound and complex. So that means independent clause is also there. That is compound sentence, two independent clause. That means it is compound sentence. And there is one dependent clause. So it is compound complex. Right? Let's see more examples and try to find out how it is compound complex, right? Kate doesn't like cartoons because they are loud. So she doesn't watch them. Now in this sentence, find out the main clause. What do you find? Kate doesn't like cartoons. So here it is independent clause, right? And where is the other independent clause? Can you find them? Yes. So it is added with so. Fanboys, remember? She doesn't watch them. So here we have two independent clause. Kate doesn't like cartoons. She doesn't watch them. So she doesn't watch them. So here these are two independent clause. But where is the dependent clause then? Because they are loud. So here it becomes compound complex. Let's see the next example. She likes to sleep in, but she can get up early if she has work. So what have you seen here? She likes to sleep in, but she can get up early. Here two independent clauses are joined by but. Coordinating conjunction. But the next one, if she has work, again condition clause. Okay, so this is adverb clause, right? Here, so what do we find? This is a combination of compound complex, right? Children, I hope you have understood what is a phrase, clause and sentence. Now There is a purpose of the different types of sentences which are being taught to you. Why? Because whenever you write an essay or speech, if you write one type of sentence, it will be boring. So, you should write different types of sentences, which adds variety to your writing, to your speech, reports, essays. So, what should you do? You should use best type of sentence to convey your message. With that, we come to the end of the session. Children, after this video, there will be a link. You have to click on the link and submit your answers. That's all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.